This is my processing code. I'm gonna cover the light with my hand, and it turns off on the screen, on, off. And I have a light sensor up here that when I cover it, the light turns off. When I uncover it, the light turns on. So I'm gonna cover this, light is off, and then when I press the button, this button here, the button will be pressed, an alarm will go off, and the pillow is gonna drop. Thank you for being my test subject. So for the Arduino code, this was initializing all of the values. I did use the servo library when I was writing this code. In the setup, I just attached the pins to whatever value I set them to up here. And then going into the loop, I basically continuously check to see if the light is on or off, because the servo is not supposed to move if the light is on. And going down here, this is basically the part where if it detects that the button is pressed and the light is off, it will start to move the servo back and forth between these two positions, and will continuously send out this string that has the angle of the servo, whether the light is turned on or off, and whether or not the button is pressed. And then down here, this is the exit of the if statement from above, where if the light is on and the button is unpressed, it will just continuously tell the serial monitor that those three values are negative. And this is my processing code. I used 5 images in this code. This is initializing all those images, and then I loaded them from a file that I had in where the processing code is located, where it's saved. I create a window, and then basically during this while loop, once it checks that the serial port is open, it will load all those images onto the screen and continuously replace them based on the values that it gets from the Arduino code. So it will tell, on the screen it will show whether or not the light is on, whether or not the light is off, the button is up or down, and the angle of the servo. This is a quick walkthrough of my wiring. So on here, I have my light sensor, so that detects whether or not the light is on or off. It's daytime now, so when I wanted the light off, I would just cover it, and the ambient light in the room was enough to turn it on. It was a little brighter earlier. This is my button that would activate it. This is the piezo buzzer that would go off whenever the servo started to move, and that is all wired into the Arduino through some digital ports and an analog port to read the value of the light sensor. So out of here, I have a ground wire and the wire that tells the position of the servo, and I have that wired over here. I have an external power supply to power the servo, and that's through this whole board. The ground wire is connected here from the Arduino, and then these are the power and the ground for the servo. And then this last wire here, this is from the Arduino that tells the servo position, what position. Button is pressed. Oh God. Success. Here we go. Light off, button pressed.